We want to make sure she is 100% ready, fever ride momentum as Caitlin Clark sits out Sparks matchup. The Caitlin Clark-less Indiana Fever has momentum on their side. It's one of the key reasons the team isn't sweating over or rushing the return of their superstar guard. The Fever picked up where they left off after winning the Commissioner's Cup earlier this week. They hosted the Las Vegas Aces on Thursday and torched A.J. Wilson and her team 81-54, making it one of their most dominant wins this season. That they did so without Clark made the victory even more impressive, as their lockdown defense stifled the Aces completely. Up next, they host the struggling Los Angeles Sparks as part of their remaining 4-game homestand, hoping to make it 3 straight wins. The timing couldn't be better for Indiana to build confidence without their star player. Clark ruled out of Saturday's matchup versus Sparks in what comes as a tough blow for the Fever. Caitlin Clark will miss her 5th straight game of the season as she continues to recover from her left groin strain. While she has been practicing with the team, head coach Stephanie White made it clear that the team was not looking to rush her back into action. Per CBS Sports, my goal has always been the same. I don't want this to be something that lingers, that we come back too soon. White said, we want to make sure that she's 100% ready to go and that we put her long-term health and wellness at the forefront. The cautious approach makes sense given Clark's importance to the franchise. The Fever can't afford to have their franchise player dealing with recurring injuries, especially with playoff positioning on the line. Clark last played on June 24, ending her evening with a forgettable 6-point outing in the team's win over the Seattle Storm. An awkward fall in the final seconds of the game resulted in the Fever announcing that she would miss the next game against Los Angeles. She also missed out on the much-awaited matchup against Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings, which had fans buzzing about the rookie versus sophomore showdown. The groin injury is the second setback for the sophomore guard this season. She missed game time at the start of the season with a left quad strain, sitting out 3 weeks of action. She has now missed 9 regular season games, not including the Commissioner's Cup final against the Minnesota Lynx. The former Iowa superstar had a solid start to her season, averaging 18.2 points, 5 rebounds, and 8-9 assists. Those numbers put her in the conversation for All-Star consideration, making her extended absence all the more noticeable. Now, the Fever will hope that she will be ready for the team's next clash against the Golden State Valkyries. Predicted lineups and what to expect without Clark running the show, the Fever will lean heavily on their supporting cast to keep the momentum going. The team has shown they can compete at a high level even without their star, but consistency will be key. The Sparks are enduring another rough season and come into the contest on the back of 2 consecutive losses. They sit near the bottom with just 5 wins in 18 games, making them a perfect opponent for Indiana to build confidence. Injuries to their star players early on and inconsistencies on both ends of the floor derailed LA's campaign from the start. For the Fever, Kelsey Mitchell will need to step up as the primary scorer, while Aaliyah Boston continues to anchor the paint. The team's depth has been tested, but they've responded well so far. They'll look to continue their strong showing as they wait for Clark to make her way back from injury. The question is whether they can maintain this level of play once their star returns and the team chemistry needs to readjust. The echoes of sneakers and whistles filled the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but there was one unmistakable absence on the court: Caitlin Clark. The rookie sensation whose gravity had pulled the entire WNBA universe toward Indiana wasn't suiting up. Again. Still, the Fever weren't flinching. Yet, hours before tip-off against the Los Angeles Sparks, Fever head coach Stephanie White addressed the elephant in the room. We want to make sure she is 100% ready, she said firmly. There's too much at stake for her future and for ours to risk anything less. It wasn't just coach speak. It was a declaration, a sign that Indiana was learning how to win, with or without the face of their franchise. A team rising for months, Indiana had been defined by Clark's spotlight. Every press conference, every arena stop, every opposing coach's game plan began and ended with no 22. But when she was sidelined with a groin injury during their Commissioner's Cup win, something shifted. The Fever didn't collapse, they rallied. And that rally continued into the Sparks matchup. With Clark sitting out, it would have been easy to write this game off as a setback. But inside the locker room, the vibe wasn't one of anxiety, it was of opportunity. We've got dogs in this room, veteran guard Erica Wheeler told reporters before the game. Caitlin being out doesn't stop the mission, it sharpens it. Nalisa Smith, The dynamic forward in her breakout year echoed the sentiment. We're not trying to just hold it down until Caitlin gets back. We're trying to build something so when she returns, we're even better. The Sparks showdown from the opening tip, Indiana played like a team with something to prove. Kelsey Mitchell sliced through the lane with surgical precision. Aaliyah Boston dominated the boards with quiet fury. And Smith, she was everywhere, posting up, diving for loose balls, igniting fast breaks. The Fever led wire to wire, with the home crowd roaring as if Clark were right there with them. In many ways, she was. She's still leading, said assistant coach Karima Christmas Kelly. She's on the bench. She's in the film room. She's mentoring our younger guards. Caitlin's not just watching, she's absorbing. That's part of her growth. The pressure of patience still. The decision to rest Clark wasn't made lightly. Fans across the country tuned in, some disappointed, others anxious. Her absence is felt far beyond Indiana. She's not just a player. She's a phenomenon, a needle mover, the rare rookie whose jersey outsells MVPs. But the Fever have been careful not to let the marketing noise dictate medical choices. She's wired to compete, Stephanie White said post-game. You'd think she's not dying to get out there, but we have to protect her from herself sometimes. That's leadership. That's long-term vision. For Clark, sitting has been its own kind of struggle. And known for her relentless motor and obsession with improvement, watching from the sidelines has tested her in new ways. She's learning to slow down, and sometimes that's the hardest lesson for an athlete used to going full sped, White added. Beyond the box score, what's remarkable is how the Fever are using this stretch not as damage control, but as development. Without Clark on the court, other players have been forced to step into bigger roles. Wheeler has become the vocal floor general. Mitchell, usually quiet, has grown into a mid-game motivator. Even rookie Celeste Taylor has shown flashes of two-ways brilliance. We're finding our identity, said Boston. And when Caitlin returns, she's not coming back to carry us, she's coming back to join us. That subtle distinction matters. The Clark-centric narrative had risked overshadowing the Fever's team dynamic. But now, with the squad proving its depth and resilience, the foundation is being laid for something even more dangerous. A balanced Fever team with a fully healthy Clark, integrated into a system that no longer lives or dies with her minutes. The bigger picture, off the court, Clark's impact is still undeniable. The Sparks game marked the 5th straight sellout at home. Fans still wore her jersey. Kids still lined the tunnel hoping for a high five. Even while out, she was still the gravitational force pulling the next generation into the WNBA orbit. She's watching, learning, and still inspiring, White said. But when she returns, it won't just be a return. It'll be a reintroduction, because this version of the Fever isn't the same team that started the season with wide eyes and uneven chemistry. They're battle-tested. They've learned how to win ugly, how to defend as a unit, and how to silence critics without their superstar. And Clark? She's coming back not just to resume her rise, but to elevate everything around her.